Hey everyone, so my name is Naya. I am one of three from Goddess Energy. And I wanted to bring a video to y'all basically explaining, you know, my opinion on social media and spirituality and just the mainstream in general. All that good stuff. Like I just want to touch base on, you know, I don't want to say spiritual etiquette, but spirituality is mainstream these days. You can log on to Instagram and see someone talk about, tarot readings. You can, log on Facebook and, see different things about witchcraft, etc., etc. And, while those spaces are amazing, don't get me wrong, I have some really great people that, I've looked to on social media for, my personal, experiences and everything, or just personal research. So, it's a great resource, but I feel like people have a tendency to overshare. Like, for example, you know, me starting out, you don't know all the rules. When I don't even want to say rules because there is no rules to spirituality. It's your craft for a reason. But I didn't know that it was disrespectful to spirit to allow people in my sacred space, and I don't mean physically because of course not. But sending pictures, posting my crystals online, or just posting things online that are sacred to me, things from my altar. I pull a card and I'm posting, what my card was of the day, and it's like not knocking the people that do readings for that reason. No, it's a difference in, you're doing a reading channeling other people's energy versus you doing a reading, you pulling that card for yourself and sharing it with the world. Now, if you want to do that, kudos to you. Like I said, these are my opinions and just personally what I think. But I feel like I don't want to say that this is factual, but I do feel like, it's always motive to a lot of things. And it's like, you should never allow people that you shouldn't just allow but so much energy in your sacred space, in your, if your aura, whatever you want to call it. Like, you should not allow certain energies and just multiple energies. Like, for example, like, it's okay to get readings, but don't, make sure you're doing research and going to the right people and not just bouncing from reader to reader, because these people are picking up on your energy. And I'm not saying that, they're out here putting roots on but you have to be mindful of energy transfer. You have to be mindful that not everyone is, of good pure intention, and a lot of people online are not. Like, I've made the mistake of posting my, journal, or like my crystals, new moon, whatever. Like, I've made that mistake, but I've definitely, you know, come to the conclusion that this should not be shared with other people. Like, this shouldn't be, someone else should not know what my altar looks like. And by someone else, I mean, if I didn't allow you here, if you're not in my close knit circle, you don't know what my altar looks like. AKA, if you've never been to my house, that basically answers your question. So, like, I'm very picky about, energies and who comes in my home. And, because it's like, as an empath, which I can go on, we can talk about that on a different episode. I feel like me and Keenan could really vibe off of like a conversation about empathy, because like, or empaths, because we definitely are here when it comes to that. So I feel like that should be an upcoming episode. But anyways, being an empath, it's like you pick up on all of that stuff, and it's like, for some of you that don't believe in that kind of stuff, like, do you ever just have a day or just days where you just feel so overwhelmed for no reason? Or, you had a long day, you've been around people all day, and you're just like, the moment you get alone, you're just like, whoo. It's like little things like that. Like, you should ask yourself, what are you? But anyways, so like, being an empath, like picking up on those different energies, it's like, it's overwhelming. And for me personally, like, I can't, I'm not one of those people that, I'm just funny acting or whatever. Like, you know, I don't mean like my family and close friends. I just mean people in general. Like, so it's like, you shouldn't, like, yeah, you can sage, you can get rid of it, blah, 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 blah. But it's just the principle of, in my opinion, people, I'm not saying that everyone has bad intentions or anything like that, but it's like, you don't know, like, what that person, what type of energy they might bring with them. You don't know what type of trauma they've been through or their ancestors been through, or just their energy in general. Like, you don't know if one of my people didn't like one of they people. Like, you just never know. So it's just one of those situations where it's like, you shouldn't allow people in your sacred space like that, because these people are looking, they're going to remember that vision, whether it be a photo in person. Like, they're going to basically remember that image. Like, they're gonna say, oh yeah, I know where she keeps this or she keeps that. And yeah, you can say you're thinking too hard, or whatever the case is. But me personally, I am a Virgo. I overthink, and I don't rule out no scenario. Okay, so it's like, especially for me personally, like, the year of 2022 was a very, like, mindful and learning year, that people who don't mean, like, not necessarily don't, like, love you, but like people who aren't, of, good for you, or people that aren't of, maybe they're, not necessarily, what is the word I'm looking for? People that are not of your best interests, put it that way, put it the respectful way. People that are not of your best interest, you could be, having that person in your life, and the whole entire time they're either preying on your downfall, or just their energy is so heavy that in order to get that next blessing, you need to let them go. And, it's, for me personally, like, I'm not one of those people that are secretive. I don't really care about what people think of me or anything like that. Like, that is a very old version of me. High school me would give a fuck, but adult me, I don't care what you think, because you don't know me. Like, honestly, if you have not spoken to me in the last year or two, you don't know me, because I am not that same person that, I used to be. Like, whether, and I mean that by the yes man, I mean that by, putting other people before myself. And it's like, on top of just me being who I am as a person, like, I've always been an amazing person, but the more I grow spiritually, the more I become aware of, everything that not necessarily was wrong with my life, but everything that did not serve me in my life, if that makes sense. So, and all of this has happened behind closed doors, because why? Because that's something that, to the people who share their life on social media, that's your business. But for me personally, like, I'm a very private person. I go through things in silence. You will never know. But that's another reason why I say you should not post those spiritual, practice, not necessarily practices, because you can, like, I don't see anything, necessarily incorrect or just necessary. Like, if you want to share, what you do for a new moon ritual or whatever, that's good, because that's helping people. But, like, for me personally, like, to post my, oh, I woke up today and did this, I woke up today and did this, oh, check out my new crystal, or look what I added to my altar, like, that is basically what I'm saying. Like, you will never see me doing that. And it's like, people don't realize, like, a lot of people are into spirituality for the aesthetic, not realizing that there's actual work behind it. And that's what I'm talking about. Would I just beat around the bush? I said all that to say, yes, like, there's work that actually goes into it that doesn't involve the beautiful crystals and the cute tarot cards and the candle magic. Like, it's so much more to it than that. And I just don't want people to, see all these aesthetics on social media, and think like, oh, it's this. And it's like, I don't want them to get the wrong impression, because there are people out there that practice for the wrong reasons. They practice to get things and not actually work on themselves, not realizing that, don't keep repeating the same cycles. Like, your soul is not gonna make it to, you know, its next phase if you don't complete this phase. Like, that's where the concept of, anyways, like, but you know, yeah, so it's like, for me personally, like, I'll never, and I say like a lot, I'm pretty sure y'all have noticed that, but it's so much more to it than, you know, posting cute things, you know. And it's like, that is basically what I said all that to say. You know, I am where I am today because of the choices that I've made, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay. I can say that every decision that I've made up until this point, like, I am 100% happy, no regrets, because I am where I am today because of it, you know. And it's like, I'm gonna mention my parents a lot because I was blessed to have a father and a mother that actually worked their ass off and gave their children the life they deserve. You know, things were not perfect, but if I had to give mom and dad a definition, it would be my parents. Like, I'm grown as fuck and can still call them, laugh. You know, they still hug me, like, they still kiss me on the cheek. Like, if I need something, you know, they're just the definition of solid. And it's like, you know, I can definitely say, like, growing up in a household that, you know, values, you know, school, and just values the, you know, educating yourself, going for what you believe in. It's not about what's right or wrong. If that's what you want to do, then you do it. If you work hard, then you deserve it, you know. And it's like, I grew up with, you know, values and morals, and I'm not saying that other people didn't, but having, you know, my parents had me at I believe 33, so they were pretty wise, you know. And it's like, you know, I joke and say, you know, oh, my parents are older, but honestly, that's a blessing because I have that. They are the reason why I have that old soul that I do. And I also spent a lot of time with my grandparents. You know, I was really young when my grandpa Coy passed away, and today, it's my grandma Dora's birthday, and she passed away in 2007, and I still get teary-eyed when I talk about her. Like, vocally. Like, I don't really talk about her much because I get so emotional, and that's something that's, you know, when she passed away, it was something that I was okay with as time went on. I cried every once in a while, but because I know that this woman is like actually like watching over me, and I know she's with me every second of every day, like, it just makes me so emotional. But and I'm also, let me not say too much about my life too, because I just, you know, I want to be vulnerable and like talk about my experiences and be honest and truthful, but I also want to keep a lot of things to myself because these things are sacred to me. And you know, that's what I need the world. I just want to get that message out there that not everyone needs to know your next move. Not everyone needs to know, you know, every little thing that you do. Like, it's not, you know, it's okay to keep things to yourself. Honestly, it's refreshing to be that old, you know, I don't even say old soul, but it's just refreshing to not be like the masses. Like, there is an agenda in today's society, and I just refuse to be a part of that. And I feel like spirituality becoming mainstream is also a part of that agenda. You know, they're trying to, not, I don't want to say force it because that's not at all that. It's just, it's becoming more mainstream. More and more people are starting to realize, you know, religion is bullshit. And it's also because we're in a, you know, when we entered 2022, we entered the age of Aquarius. We were in the age of Pisces. So the age of Aquarius, the age of information, the age of revealing the truth, you know, it's like a lot of things are becoming normal nowadays. And it's like, you know, I have such a close-knit circle of spiritual people, and I appreciate them so much. And I always love like meeting more spiritual people. And it's like, it's just refreshing to see people actually out here doing the work. And it's just, it's beautiful, like, you know. And it's crazy how life has a way of like working out, but you know, it's, you also have to keep in mind that there's also people out there that fake that, you know, wokeness or fake, you know, being there for you or just being, you know, your friend or associate, whatever the case is. Like, they could just be fake as fuck. And, you know, it's one of those things where you have to ask yourself, like, is this person meant for me or are they not? And it's like, if your gut says no, follow it. Because one thing that I've learned this year is that gut, she don't lie. Okay, and she's never lied. It's just, I just finally came to the conclusion that, you know, she don't lie. And it's just, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm rambling, to be honest. But, you know, it's just, spirituality has just been so amazing to me, you know, behind closed doors. And I just want people to realize that you don't have to be of a certain aesthetic to practice, or be of a certain, you know, type of person to, you know, have, you know, that sort of stuff, you know, not necessarily like, what am I trying to say? Like, you don't have to be a certain type of person or hang around certain people or whatever the case is to welcome that lifestyle, because that's what it is. It's a lifestyle. You know, I feel guilty when days or weeks go by and I don't, you know, at least, I don't want to say sit down in my altar, because I don't sit down in my altar every week. I try to, but I try to sit down at least once every 2 weeks. But, you know, whether it be a journal entry or, you know, pull an oracle card, or simply just, you know, I'm very active with my crystals. Like, I live, eat, breathe, sleep, die. Those are my babies, and I continue to add to that collection. But it's just, you know, if it's just something simple as sleeping with amethyst underneath my pillow, you know, just little stuff like that. Like, you don't have to be, you know, this die-hard witch doing spells and all that stuff, because no, like, you're gonna miss a full moon, you're gonna miss a new moon, you're gonna miss, you know, certain celestial events, and that is okay. Like, you don't have to, like, force it. If your spirit is not, or your soul is not telling you I need to, then don't. Or if you just don't have the time, then don't. Like, life gets hectic. And, you know, one thing that I've learned as a modern day witch is that, you know, the people that, you know, watch over me understand that, you know, spirit understands that, yes, like, life is, you know, this is a new age. Like, this is 2022. Like, it's not the 1800s. Like, we don't just sit around all day, you know, and I don't want to say do nothing, but we just don't have the time that we used to back in the day. Like, especially as a woman, like, most women were housewives. So it's like, you know, I don't have the time to, you know, do work every single day. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say every single day, because I do work every single day, but and also, like, my nail is broken, and if I keep looking at my hand, that's why, like, it's bothering me, because these are my real nails. And I went to this new salon because I moved to a new area or a new city, and it just, God, like, I've never had this happen, so, like, I know I'm not going there ever again. And my gut told me I should have just booked with my nail lady back home, and shout out to you, Vicky. But it's just, the drive is so far. Like, I don't want to drive that far. Like, that's a whole day event. Like, but so yeah, anyways, enough about my nails. First world problems. But you know, it's like, as simple as going outside and thanking God and just thanking the sun for, you know, radiating on you. Like, that's simple. That's doing work without even realize that you're doing work, to be honest. But it's like, you know, everything doesn't have to be, you know, all aesthetic. You know, everything doesn't have to be, you know, of a certain way. You don't have to have a certain amount of money. You know, there's crystal shops that have crystals for $1. If you want to do it, do it. If you have questions, ask. Like, I don't bite. Like, I will help anyone. Like, you know, if you are a stranger, even if you're not a stranger, if you have questions, ask. Like, you can ask me or Keenan. Now, Desi, he doesn't have any social media presence. I was gonna say he doesn't have a heavy social media presence, but he doesn't have any social media presence, which is cool. Like, that's one thing I admire about my spiritual brother, is that man literally live in 2022 and don't have a look at social media and don't even give a fuck about it. And it's like, I'm not saying that I do, because I'm definitely working my way towards not having social media. Like, I deleted Twitter. I don't have that anymore. I don't get on Snapchat. The only reason I won't delete Snapchat is because I need to get the pictures off of there that I have just from over the years with like myself and just my best friend and stuff. And I'm just lazy, but I need to download that app and do that soon so I can delete it. But Facebook, it's just, Facebook is a little hard because I keep up with a lot of my family there. Like, I have so many cousins, y'all. Like, my grandma had 12 kids, so you can only imagine. And then my dad also has, he has 4 siblings, okay? They all have offspring. Well, no, I'm sorry. He has 4 siblings, but 3 of them have offspring. And that's just, I just have a huge ass family, and like lots of cousins, lots of aunts, lots of uncles, lots of friends that I consider family that I want to keep up with. I may not speak to them every day, but I want to keep up with it to see how, you know, life is going, how they're doing, you know, like maybe we went to the same church, or maybe we grew up together, or whatever the case is. Like, because I definitely like, I like keeping up with them. Like, I like being able, you know, being able to say hello. Like, it's just impossible to keep up with all these people texting and talking on the phone. Like, that's impossible. It's just impossible. Like, you can call me, like, I'm gonna answer, I'm gonna be happy to hear from you, but just with everyday life, like, it's just not, it's not, yeah, no, it's not feasible. So, yeah, and it's like, another thing that I want to touch on too is, y'all don't know, like, the half of, y'all don't know any of what I've been through. And I don't mean to say that so harsh. The Virgo in me is just, she is peeping right now. Okay, I'm feeling I have to tone it down sometimes. Like, and I even catch myself, and that's one thing that people need to learn in today's society is accountability. But anyways, it's just, I am so blessed and like so grateful, and it's like, you know, not every negative thing that you go through is bad. Like, it's always going to be light at the end of the tunnel. Like, people need to realize that you can't have light without darkness. You can't have a positive without a negative. And, you know, instead of saying, oh, devil, get up off me, just say, you know what, life goes on. Or just say, you know what, this happened, but there's something greater on the way. Or say, you know what, I went through this, but, you know, greater times are ahead. Like, don't keep wishing that dark energy on you, because I personally don't believe in the devil, but that word itself just brings so much negativity and darkness because of, you know, just shit, just the world. Like, I mean, not even the world, just that word is just very dark. And just things in general, like, you know, it's like, in the spiritual realm or the spiritual world, they don't see it as a negative thing. They don't see it as, you know, a bad thing, because darkness or negativity is a form of life, just like positivity and light is. So it's like, it's just a different form of energy. And it's like, we all have a light side and we all have a dark side, hence the, you know, Jesus and the devil, you know. So it's like, we all have that about ourselves, and we can choose to whether or not we're going to pick the light side or the dark side. When we gossip about people, that's the dark side. We're all guilty of it. When, you know, you see a homeless person on the street and you give them $1, that's the light side. Or just being a good person in general. It doesn't even have to matter about doing something for someone. It's just about being there for people, or just being a good person in general. And, you know, it's just, like I said, you can't have light without darkness, and you can't have darkness without light. And it's just one of those things where we just coexist in this world. And it's just, when it's my time to go, like, it's, you know, my soul, I want my soul to be able to go to the next realm. I don't want to be on earth again. I don't want to experience human life ever again. Like, being a human is hard, especially being a spiritual person, like a spiritual human. Y'all don't know the half. Like, I just look at so many people, especially like Christians and just people in general. Like, every single day, I'm just like, wow, like, you just keep on trucking. Like, some of my coworkers, like, I admire them for being so like happy to be at work and just so involved and intrigued. And, you know, if any of my people from work watch this that I work at currently, like, shout out to y'all, because I really fuck with y'all a long way. And it's like, I'm not gonna say where because that's no one's business. And if I say that, like, I can't say where I work. Like, I just can't. Like, it's a secret. So, so yeah, like, it's crazy because, like, even like, you just never know who you might touch. Like, and, you know, being a good person, just being that light, you know, like, life is not easy, you know what I mean? And it's like, but at the same time, like, that's not anyone's fault. That's not even, you know, I mean, depending on your, what's the word? Depending on your karma or, you know, your life choices, then I take that back. But, you know, being a good person, that's the best thing that you can do. Like, it's no reason in being bitter. It's no reason in being a jealous, envious spirit. It's no point in, you know, being mad at people, clocking people. It's no reason for, you know, saying something negative, stalking their page, or being, you know, just overall hateful, spiteful, whatever you want to call it. Like, that, it's not going to get you anywhere. And being ugly, it's not going to get you anywhere. Like, you know, no person is better than the other. We're all human. We're all, you know, experiencing this life together. And it's like, I just look at people that have that, you know, ambition to get up and go to work every single day. Like, I wish I had that. Like, me personally, I don't want to work. I want to live my life in my house in the country, and I want a beautiful backyard. I want a fireplace in my house. Like, I want a, you know, a green room. Like, I want a greenhouse. Like, I just want my front yard to be beautiful because I did it. Like, I want a gorgeous husband. Like, you know, our cute little family one day. Like, you know, and it's just, I want to be able to enjoy my days with my, you know, I want chickens and I want goats and, you know, a cow or two, maybe a horse. Maybe I'll horseback ride in my free time. Like, I just want to be as grounded to the earth and spend as much time outside as I can. Because for me personally, I get a lot of, like, energy transfer from the sun and just the moon and the stars. Like, they really talk to me. It's like, I don't know, like, all my spiritual people, like, y'all know what I'm saying. Like, when you go outside, you just get greeted by Mother Nature. I can't even talk. When you go outside, you know, you just get greeted by Mother Nature, you know, like, or just the stars, like the universe. Like, it's just a different type of feeling when you walk outside. And, you know, I don't judge people for what they believe in or anything like that. I admire people for, you know, standing, you know, strong in what they believe in. Good for you. But also remember, like, if you have to force yourself to go to church, is that really where you should be going Sunday morning? Like, because literally whenever I used to go, I used to force it. And whenever my mom and dad used to want to go to church, I used to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't want to go here. So, but yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm rambling. Back to the subject of the video, which is basically why we need to separate mainstream media and spirituality, is because I don't want, like, people like my niece, for example. You know, I have a niece that's in high school, and I don't want her on social media, you know, thinking, you know, oh, let me say so-and-so's name 3 times and, you know, conjure that, because you can literally go on TikTok and look up how to make a boy call you, and you're going to find rituals. And I just want people to realize that energy is not to be played with. I know y'all heard about that white girl that summoned that African deity, or I can't remember exactly if it was, I don't remember. I just know it was a masculine energy, I think, or it might have been feminine. I don't remember, but I just know this white girl summoned some African stuff and it killed her. So just be mindful of, you know, what your, you know, your intentions. Be mindful of, you know, what you post. Be mindful of what you look up online. Be mindful of, you know, that energy, because it's there, you know. And it's like, spirituality is already overwhelming enough. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like right now I've been having this, my next thing is angel numbers, because like I see them all the time, and I know like that they're a good sign. I know what most of them mean, but sometimes it just gets overwhelming because I see them so many times. And it's like, some of them, I'll go through phases where I only see certain ones. I'll go, and it's just like, it's like a trickle down effect. And it's like, when I look the numbers up, every website says something different. So it's just like, that's what I mean by, mainstream, spirituality, because there's so much information out there that there's so much misinformation out there. And it's like, it's like, it's called your craft, but at the same time, it's like you also have to be mindful of your resources, because these people that are writing these blogs, most of them don't give a fuck about them angel numbers, and most of them aren't even spiritual. Now, some of them may be, some of them may pretend to be. You just have to be mindful that today's world is a capitalist society. There's money to be made, and it's like, you just going to that page alone just made so many millions for the blog posts, the ads that's on the page, like the click that you made that was probably $2 million right there. So, it's just crazy how today's world is. Like, sometimes I wish that I was still a kid, because it's like, that was the last time that I was like genuinely like happy. Like, I remember being a little kid, like, oh, I can't wait to be this age, and I can't wait to be this age. Like, and I'm not saying that I'm not happy, because I am genuinely happy with my life, but that inner peace, that inner child that I miss, like, being able to just not have any worries, not having to get up and go to work every day, not having to, if, I wanted to stay home because I wanted a day, my mom would let me. Like, I just miss those, carefree times. And it's like, I wouldn't go back to being like an actual kid. I would probably go back to like being like 18 when my money was my money. And I don't mind working. Like, it's not that I mind working. I just want to do what I want to do. I want to be able to have time to do what I want to do. Like, working the job I work, listen, like, just know the corporate girlies, pray for us. Because, listen, like, it ain't all what it's souped up to be. Now, it's great, but it is definitely, they gonna work the fuck out of you. Okay? And it's like, I just miss going back to like my 3.5 4-hour days. Like, I wish I could go back to that. But it's like, it's not even that I don't want to work. It's just, I want to be my own, like, I guess I want to be my own boss. Like, I would love to create content, like, and just be that person that, people go to whenever they need, outfit inspo. Like, I love fashion. I love art. I love nature. Like, I love spirituality. Like, I'm passionate about so many things. Like, I have so many, like, hobbies that I just want to share, and just, I love being creative. Like, I would love to just be able to share that and get paid for, doing something that I'm actually passionate about and that I'm actually happy doing. Like, I don't want to be a robot, like, I enjoy my routine. Like, my mornings, I love my morning routine. Like, I get up, I do my skincare, and that is a whole nother, like, see, I love skincare. I don't like, I just love beauty in general. Like, I don't really want to say makeup anymore. Like, I used to be heavy on that in my early 20s, but baby, I'm 27. Like, what you see is what you get. Good genes, shout out to you. And drink your water, ladies. Don't knock it. I'm judging the grown-ups that don't drink water. Drink water. It's good for you. But yeah, so like, I get up in the morning, like, I do my skincare, I make a very delicious breakfast. Like, one thing about me is I'm going to have my breakfast. I'm going to have my matcha, and I'm going to make time for it. And, I take my time getting ready. I do my hair. Like, it's just so calm in the mornings. Like, and I make sure that I wake up in time to, like, have those mornings so that I'm not starting off a chaotic work day. Chaotic. Like, I want to be able to just have like a calm start to my morning, so that when I get to work is already enough. You know what I mean? And it's not even that work is chaotic, because it's not chaotic. It's just work is work. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to get up and punch a clock and work for someone else? Like, I want to be able to wake up, do my morning routine, and have time to put myself first. Like, I want to be able to wake up in the morning and journal every single day. And I mean, I could do that now, but like, I could do that now, because whenever I'm like sitting down, eating breakfast and stuff, like, I could do that daily, but it does require a lot of discipline. And when you have somewhere to be by a certain time, it's just, oh gosh, like, I know y'all get it though. Like, it's just so frustrating, because it's like, damn, like, you gotta be there by a certain time. If you ain't there by a certain time, you're late. You don't get paid. You better submit your time so you can get paid. So, but yeah, like, but I just want to be able to just wake up in the morning and not have to punch a clock. I want to be able to, get up and go, do yoga, take a yoga class, take a Pilates class, or just work out in general, go for a walk, do something that's not on my phone or not commuting, not, not, I want to say deteriorating my mental health, but I want to do something in the morning first that's benefiting my mental health. Like, you know what I mean? Making me, feel good, you know what I mean? And it's like, I want to be able to, start off slow, start my morning slow, get my workout in, get a journal entry in, whether it's 5 minutes, read, and make breakfast. And I don't have to do all of these things every single morning, but if I wanted to, I could, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe like, I'm a Virgo, so I love schedules. So I could like do Monday. Okay, Monday could be workout, journal, while I, eat breakfast and meditate. Or, and then Tuesdays could be rest day, where I just wake up in the morning, make breakfast, and I don't know, do what the fuck I want to do. Like, yeah. So, but yeah, so I don't know. Like, I know that like Keenan has been posting, so I also want to say that I'm going to be posting too. So like we have like a new schedule where we're going to be still posting together, but we're also going to be posting separately too, so that y'all can get to know us separately and see our different personalities, and just also just get to know us, because we're all like, me, Kenan, and Des are all the same, but we're all also different. We come from totally different backgrounds, and I love that about us. Like, it's crazy how we literally come from different backgrounds, but like when I say soul tribe, like those three, I will murder somebody for those three. Like, literally, like my whole heart, literally, they have it. So it's just crazy, because it's like spirit is always gonna align, and it doesn't matter what you believe in, whether you are a Satanist, a Christian, a Buddhist, I don't know, I don't care, whatever God you believe in is always gonna align what's meant for you. And that's why I believe in soul tribe. And it's like, we were meant to cross paths, because that is why we're on the path that we're on now. I'm definitely rooting for this channel, this podcast. Like, I'm rooting for all of us to grow, and I hope that this reaches someone, and I hope that it's helpful. I did want to mention some things that helped me spiritually whenever I first started, like as far as like information, just before y'all, if you're just now getting into spirituality, witchcraft, paganism, please do your research before you just dive head first. Educate yourself. It's okay to go explore, and if you want to go to an occult shop, go, like, that's okay. But also remember, educate yourself before you dive head deep, because a lot of information, it's a lot of things that you have to be ready for, because it's not just cute little crystals and your cute little altar. Like, a lot of work goes into it, and a lot of patience goes into it, and a lot of research, because you have to be mindful. Everyone's situation is different, but you also have to be respectful of the gods and goddesses. You have to be respectful for your inner god and goddess. You have to be respectful to your ancestors and your spirit guides, and just overall spirit in the universe, and just keep that in mind. Just be respectful of those things, because a lot of misinformation is out there, and a lot of just mainstream. It's just mainstream. That's all I gotta say. I wanted to give some resources that helped me as far as like getting started. So I first started out talking to Keenan. So my first suggestion would be, and I said her name so country just now, oh my god, tell me you're from North Carolina without telling me you're from North Carolina. Anyways, but yeah, so like I started off talking to Keenan because I heard through the grapevine at work. I don't remember who, but someone told me, I had made a comment one day, and someone was like, well, Keenan is spiritual, you should talk to her. And I had a feeling in my gut anyways, like, I don't know, it was just a weird like connection to her. I hadn't said anything to her, but I was like, I don't know what it is about her, but she is intimidating, but in a good way. And like I just randomly went up to her because we were like cool before, but like I had just, because she was my team lead. So, and shout out to her, she was a great team lead. Her and our supervisor, they were great. And I ran up to her randomly and was just like, hey, like I heard you practice witchcraft, like, you know, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I just know basically, hey, I heard you practice witchcraft, can you help me? Basically were my words. And you know, I'm sorry, I'm recording on my phone and I got a text message, but and I was not supposed to do that, but it's okay. You know, we're getting there. But yeah, so like if y'all know someone, talk to someone. If it's someone that you know is I don't want to say more educated, but if it's someone, just talk to someone, you know, like just get their input. You know, don't talk to no hating asshole or anything like that. Talk to someone that really, you know, you can really connect with, or someone that you know you can trust, because this is definitely something that people should realize that, you know, it's a lot of work. Great, amazing, but you know, it's so much more to it than, you know, the surface level things that most people know. So talk to someone, get out there, you know, nothing's wrong with joining like, you know, Facebook groups, so yeah, because I'm a part of a few Facebook groups and I cannot think of their name right now, and this is crazy because they're like really, really helpful. And not even like, this was in the beginning, like I still like follow the page and like look at the posts and stuff, but just as a beginner, like, you know, start off with some of those pages and ask questions. You know, they don't bite, trust me when I say this. Okay, pardon me if it's loud too. The city is loud. Like, one thing I have learned, like I used to live in Greensboro, and like Greensboro is the city, if you want to call it. But my apartment was like in the cut, and so now like I'm dab slap like in the middle of like, is it metropolitan? I don't even know the proper term, but it's a very populated area that I'm in, and I also live by the airport, so it's just a lot of commotion. I'm getting used to it, and it's not like noisy all the time, but it definitely is not what I'm used to. But yeah, talk to some of the people in the Facebook groups, like they don't bite. Now you might get some people that, you know, it might be like a know-it-all, or it might come off as like, you know what I'm saying, I can't find the word, but they just come off like, that's okay. Some of them mean well, and some of them are just, you know, just take it with a grain of salt. But for the most part, I would say 99.9% of my interactions have been good. So yeah, it's nothing wrong with joining Facebook groups. You know, read some of the posts, read through those. Those are helpful, especially because those groups are so diverse as well. There's many people from many different backgrounds, so that can also be helpful. And just ask questions, you know, it's nothing wrong with that. And another thing too is podcasts. There is a podcast that I started off with, which is called Seeking Witchcraft. Shout out to her, because she has like her first, or like I think it's like either her first or second episode, it might be 3. Like she basically breaks it down like with like a beginner starter kit, and that's what I did. And that was really helpful to me as well. And honestly, I just listened to every last one of her episodes. Like even up until today, I still listen when I can. But whenever I first started out, I was on her heavy. Like I listened to every episode she had available, because it was just so helpful. Now, obviously you're going to eventually develop your own way of practicing and your own way of doing things, and that's okay, but you just got to start somewhere. And make sure you're getting your information from reliable sources and not just, you know, getting information from random